Okay, so right now we're in the middle out technique, and I've cut off my backing. Now I'm ready to start laying my material down. Nice thing is, it falls on there, kind of pull right back up until you finally seal it with full pressure. Just pushing from the middle out, work your way, keep a little tension on there. Slowly work it. Use hard squeegee if you want to. It's fine. This stuff is laminated. Not going to hurt it. Just keeping it nice and snug. Just a little out. See, it's very forgiving. Those wrinkles just kind of disappear. If they don't, it'll tug like that. It's forgiving stuff. It's not going to hurt it. Edge, slow little release, pushing slowly, allowing that edge to fall flat. First half. Just going to stretch and pull a little bit. It's fine, not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Come back. Lift up. Give yourself a little bit of room to work with. Just kind of keep a little bit of tension on there. Slowly press that nice and straight. Not coming all the way with my backing yet. Slowly giving myself a little bit of room to work with. If I need to, I can let it go, it's fine. Since I'm right around the axe right now, I'm not going to give it too much pressure because it will stretch a little bit. Keeping your line straight across as you work. So I got a nice straight line here, and I'm applying it. This helps avoid wrinkles and running into issues when you have two edges up. Nice and snug there, smooth. I'm getting real close. Quite a bit more. A little bit of tension, you'll see you get a little curve like that. Not going to disappear too. Slow, patience. Don't push it. Kind of at the point now I can just almost let it lie. There, I'll let it sit again if I need to. And get it under an edge just by getting a little leverage under there. Little snap up. In this case, I'm good about it. It's there. Side one. Okay, now for this side of the disc, we're going to do it in a method that is kind of conducive for discs that have a lot of slope to them. As you can see, this one's really flat. Most are not. Most have a little bit more depth to them. So what we're going to do is cut out this middle and find a point somewhere across your print where you can make an overlap or a tile. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right there. When you have a lot of depth to it, it's gonna want to pull and do other things, and this is going to be the best way to install for a disc that has a lot of depth to it. Okay, at this step, I've already measured to make sure I'm centered all the way around here. All my edges are nice and consistent, and I've taped down a few important areas where I'm going to just keep everything still so it's not going to move around on me. Again, I'm going to go ahead and separate my backing. back a little bit. I'm going to pull off my slice here. Take some text messages while we're at it. And then get nice and smooth. Get ready, coming from the center. And we're just going to kind of slowly work our way around. See, you know, like, you can keep it moving around. You'll see a little bunching a little bit there. Don't worry about it. Just get it as flat as you can keep it, and that stuff will just work its way out as you come back and set down your initial edge. I'm not worried about that little gap that you're seeing at the very end, because the stuff will stretch for you and it'll come around where you want it to. Okay, I've got my initial edge set. Now I'm going to go ahead and work my way around. And I'm going to ignore my text messages right now. It's a good time to do that. Slowly, just keeping a little tension, keep it nice and taut. Not too, just enough. Smooth it out, work your way around. Keeping it nice and flat so you know it's going to sit in the right place. Keeping a nice leading edge there, and just spin my way around. Always working from the middle, kind of working a way out. Checking my front edge there, make sure I'm looking good there. I am. Still happy with all my centering. A little more backing. No creases there. It's nice and flat looking, nice and smooth. My boxes, right place. Don't want this thing rolling around on me. That axle. Just kind of keep my edge, an eye on that edge there. Make sure there's going to be a little bit of overlap. Just don't want it to fall short is all. You'll see there's like a little bit of creasing here, but that stuff will straighten out for you. Just work it slow. Patience. Keeping it nice, flat, and smooth. Now in the case that this was kind of a steeper angled dish, it's going to lay a lot easier than it would if it's not this flat. It wasn't flat. Experiencing a little more difficulty there. Get rid of some of my excess real quick. You can see I've got like a little edge that folded over on itself. Not a big deal. Just get in there carefully. Give a little stretch. Comes apart. Just try not to give it full pressure when you see those little edges folding on each other. Okay, now I've got that. No biggie. It's very forgiving until you actually give it full pressure. If you see any serious creases to it, you can always take a hairdryer or a heat gun if you have one, and very quickly, very slowly heat it up, and that crease will disappear. But I don't suggest doing that if you don't need to. Alright, getting very close now to my little seam here. As long as you keep a little pressure, you're always going to get a little bit of stretch, which is fine. You can kind of give it a little bit more. I want to give it some little bit more tautness here. And just slowly working it out. think I'm ready to go ahead and come all the way off. Like where I'm at there. So something to kind of pop me back up. A little pressure and I'll just kind of lay in that edge. Make sure I like where that sits. I'm good with that. And as you can see, there's just enough little overlap. Oh, I got a little crease here. If you get these little fingers kind of overlaying, again, don't be afraid. Come back, give it a little stretch. Come back. Just don't stretch too much. Then you'll stretch too much, you'll get a big like pull out on one edge. You get some oblong areas. Light stretching, you're fine. That I'm okay with. All I have left is just a little cutout here. Just going to tap this out with a knife right inside my edge. Pull this out of there. Give me access to my stem. Both sides. Again, the first side, one piece, no seams. Second, one seam in an inconspicuous place. Fold over my edges a little bit. Take any time for that to fully get a nice good permanent adhesion. A little flop over. Fixed. And just give it a little final rub down. Make sure there's no little bubbles out there. You can see it's going to take on all the features of your disc surface. Zips and their nipples. You'll see it all. Work just fine. Keep your arrow where it needs to be. To finish it off, right direction there. CarbonWheelDecals.com